Hello and welcome to the second episode of my playthrough of Quest 64. This is Conservative Cat, and last time we had left off, we had stopped at this kindly fortune teller's house on our way to Dondaron. This is about midway through. We have one in every element except for water, which we have 7 in. Because we just got our healing spell. Here's my strategy for how this game should go. You should spend your time investing in one element over the others. But you should also spend some time putting it into water. The reason for this is that water is your only source of healing. So, when you're out on the field, you can heal. It heals for a measly 4 points, with upgrades I think 5 or 6. However, your mana regenerates super quickly. Every couple steps you gain some mana back. So really, it behooves you... So your strategy is going to be heal, take a couple steps, heal, take a couple steps. Keep going until you're fully healed up. Anyways, you should also, besides your water, which you should get to 7 before you do anything else, is you should invest in one attack element. Either fire, wind, or earth. Earth is the way I'm going, because earth has some... a decent selection of spells. They're pretty straightforward to use. And they also have a decent distance, at least starting off. The other options, wind and fire. Wind is the easiest one to deal with. Fire is the most difficult to use. So let's go ahead and put our first point into Earth. Sorry about that. Quest 64, Project 64 was having some difficulties working with fraps. So you'll see a little of that, at least in the beginning. Like the first 9.5 minutes, we'll have a couple of times like that where it just sort of stops and, you know, you can see some transitions. Nothing substantial happens when there's a loss, when there's a cut. It is mostly just me resetting everything so we can get rolling again. However, after that point, I solved the problem. It turned out to be... I was setting fraps to just record into one large file rather than splitting it off into lots of smaller ones. So, I'd end up with a huge file that was not really good for the system, and it would just screw up. Anyways, right, if you are starting for the first time, I would recommend going wind and water. And I've read somewhere that the best, like, ratio is to have Oh, there is a spirit right here, so let's add ourselves some more earth. There's one of those skips I was talking about. Anyways, I read somewhere it's good to have a 2-1 ratio when you're leveling it up, like between your main attack element and then water. However, I would actually recommend getting your water to 7 first, because as you can see, water is, it's not your best element, but it is certainly usable through these holy plains over here. Puddings! I guess they're technically called death oozes or something like that. They are rock-type creatures, meaning they are highly resistant to earth attacks. A lot of the times, range works well for you in this game. With these puddings, it does not. Because the only attack they have is Earth 1. And if you're close enough to them, they can't hit you with it. See that? So all you have to do is worry about staying in melee range and walloping them with your staff. You notice how Brian does a sort of spin in midair when he leaps up? That is setting you back on the course you were running before you got into the battle. Because during the course of the battle, it's pretty easy to get turned around, especially in later levels where you're in sort of maze-like areas. So it's sort of a nice afterthought, and it's kind of a reward for fighting rather than just running away. Because if you do run away, you don't get any such mercy. There you can see Brian focuses back on Dondaron again. Speaking of Dondaron, let's go ahead and run right up there. Dondaron has one spirit hiding in there, and it's a very good track that's playing in here. Has kind of a Indian Middle Eastern vibe, maybe? Because of that bell. And this is a fairly large town. There's a residential district, then there's the royal district. The residential district, that's the way we want to go if we want to pick up that spirit. Here's where we can get an item that we pretty much want to pick up before we leave town. If I can center it, there we go. Yellow wings. Yellow wings are like the white wings, except they bring you to Dondaron instead of Melroad. And we are going to need to take advantage of this jump pretty soon. The big problem here is that there is a robber who has sort of shut down the entire town. Not a group of robbers, just one robber, and he's hiding in an old fort in the forest. Which, as you can guess, that's going to be our next stop. After we speak to the king. Of course, if I remember correctly, you can probably just run right there. Okay, she wanted to give us a dewdrop. Dewdrops give us 10 mana points. And it's a good... If you don't have time to sort of sit there and grind up some mana by hitting things with your staff, it's a good alternative. It'll help in a pinch, but I recommend saving it for bosses rather than fights. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump to the inn. Hey, it's Shannon again. Remember her, the woman from Melroad? Seems like Loch Kildery will be our next stop after we get out of Dondaron here. Let's go ahead and save. Saving not only changes the hour and allows you to save the game, obviously, it also it also heals you back up to full. From this point on, we should be having no problem with FPS issues or things with Project 64 or Fraps. That's the wrong way. That's the way out. We don't want to head that way. But before I show you the way to the residential district and where to find the extra spirit, let's head up to the castle first. Another legendary artifact stolen. There's the mighty Dondaron castle, and it's a lot more interesting to explore than the monastery in Melroad. You'll see why when we get in there. One thing that kind of bothers me about the interiors in Quest 64 is they look kind of like they're unfinished. Now, don't get me wrong, the textures are beautiful. However, it's kind of empty in here, you know? Like they're in the process of moving, or like they had trouble moving things in. Here's why I said that Dondaron Castle is more interesting to explore than Melroad Monastery. It has multiple floors, and there's several rooms off these hallways. So rather than a straight shot like the monastery is, you have a lot more freedom. Also, there are a lot of rooms like this in Quest 64 where there's just nothing here. I'm not sure why they're there. If they're there just flavor, or if they were intending to add more. I don't know. Anyways, there are 4 ways we can go off the floor here, but we should start on the other side, the side we came in on, and enter those doors right over there. Because there's an NPC we want to meet. This is the way to the princess's room. The nurse tells us that we shouldn't go in there because, you know, the king will be mad. However... oh, sorry about that. However, we can run right in, no problems. Yeah, our manners are worse than the guy who stole a legendary item. To be fair, though, I kind of feel like Flora was meant to go with you in a different version, but I don't know if it was cut or if there was never a plan. Anyways, let's go ahead and steal our stuff. Lots of dewdrops here, which we are going to need. We will need these dewdrops. Mid-leaves, too. Mid-leaves are like, a more potent version of the dewdrops. Instead of giving 10 mana points back, they give, I think, 20. So, it's, but a lot of the times, dewdrops will be our weapon of choice. Anyways, Flora advised us to go visit her with her father, so that's exactly where we're gonna go. After we finish exploring. Let's head this way first. Because the other way is probably stairs down. Yeah, this is a balcony area. 2 different ways we can go. Oh, it's a knight. There we go. This thief, Solvering, was overpowered by... well, this thief overpowered all the king's men. And he also stole the Earth Orb, so you can guess what we're gonna have to do. Nothing in here. let's go ahead and explore the other way, and head downstairs, and eventually make our way over to the king. Let's head over here first. I'm sorry about that. Oh, there's another knight here. You know, I'm not sure exactly why they're... Oh, I forgot to explore the other side of that room. I'm not sure exactly why they're acting like they can stop me from coming through here, because... I mean, one guy beat them up. And it's pretty obvious we're gonna have to go out and get him. That was another cut. I paused real quickly to take care of something. Let's head upstairs. So we're a little bit of a celebrity. There's the King of Dondaron and one of his retainers, it looks like. What an asshole. The king has a rocking mustache, though. Thanks for the exposition. There we go. Our mission is stated there in plain terms. But before we head off to fight the thief, let's go ahead and rob the king blind. You know, I'm joking about robbing and everything, but it is kind of nice to have an aversion where they're not, you know, charging the guy who's trying to save the world. Instead, they're just letting him have stuff for free. It's a nice little twist, I think. Sorry, that was another thing I had to take care of off camera. But nothing's happened, so let's run right to the exit and make our way out toward the forest. Now, we are not in any good shape to fight the bandit right now. The robber. We only have 3 in our primary attack magic, and our defense and evade are not that great. So we're going to have to do a bit of grinding, which I will do off screen. But first, let me show you... Oh, that's the exit. Don't want to go that way yet. First, let me show you where that spirit was. Nope, not that way either. There we go. We want to head down to the residential district. There's some houses down here with some NPCs we can speak to, so before I head over... Oh, let's show you. This is where we are going to find the spirit here in a little bit. It should be in this corner to the northwest of these ladies, about. But it's pretty easy to find. Should be pretty easy to spot with no trouble at all. But while we're here, let's go ahead and see what the people are speaking. Okay, so Robber is just screwing around with everyone, I guess. So, let's go ahead and visit his other people real quick then. Hey, it's a kid. that's sweet. There's one more house? Well, I think two more, so let's go ahead and check them out. Her husband's right in the workshop, lady. Anyways, okay, now that we're cleared, it looks like here. Let me go ahead and get to grinding, and I'll give you a little, taste of what grinding is like in this game. Oh, I forgot to speak to them. Oh, these are the potter's daughters, it looks like? See, this is why I think Princess Flora was supposed to join you in your adventure. Anyways, I will join you back when we are, grinding. Okay, and welcome back. This is where I'm going to show you how to do some grinding. The extra spirits you see there are just from leveling up by fighting these guys. Here's how I recommend you do it. Pick a fight with some werehairs at first. Oops. There we go. Make sure there's only one. And then you have to grind up both defense and agility. For defense, just stand there and let him wail on you. And this will take a while. Not too long, but you want to have your defense around 10 or so, and your agility a bit higher than that, before you head off into the forest. To raise your agility, you just have to dodge. And the reason I choose the werehair is because it's pretty easy to dodge Windcutter. You just sort of run in a circle. And after maybe an hour, maybe even a half hour, you should be good to go. So anyways, I'm going to continue grinding. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you when we resume going to the forest. Thank you, and have a good day.